So Marcel, how
Yeah.
are you doing today?
I'm a little tired to be honest, but in general very good, thank you.
So what is it that's really tiring you? What's on your mind actually? What's burdening you?
So what's tiring me is that yesterday was the 4th of July and I was a little longer out.
Okay.
Yeah, but today was a long day of class. Maybe that's all.
Okay. So is that something that you're working on, or is time management something that you are focusing on? Maybe because I understand that we all have some days where we just need to cool down,
Mm.
but then the very next day is could be quite an intense day. So is that something that you reflect on, or
I think time management in general, yes,
mhm,
but more out of the perspective that I tend to put too much on my plate,
right,
and I'm an optimist.
right,
In the way that I think I can do all this, or I can do this, and this on today, and
okay,
in the end, always end up not doing as much as I would like to.
okay. I guess that's the issue that we all face. We have such high expectations of ourselves, and which might not be realistic. And in my experience, it's always better to be conservative. It's taking the little steps and then
Mhm.
just moving or going with the flow sometimes. You can't have it all planned out, and even if you do, it's difficult to go through
Yeah,
your plans.
that's how I feel. Yeah.
So, what are you looking in the near term? And by near term, I mean, let's say in the next 6 months, is there something that you are looking to achieve, some kind of objective that you have in mind?
Mm. There's a lot going on. Like I have the dual degree, of course,
Mm-hmm.
soon. But I think maybe something that faces me as a personal big challenge is that that I yeah kind of play with the thought of doing a paper. So a professor from another course came to me and asked me if I want to write a paper on a certain object, and yeah, try to publish it
Okay.
in a conference.
Okay.
The thing about that is the conference is in January, but the deadline for the papers is already on the 10th of September.
Okay.
And it's a totally new topic for me. I have to do a lot of research in order to actually at least like start with it.
Okay.
It's a conceptual paper, so it's even more research. It's a lot of study involved in there, and I'm kind of like I know I have the offer on the table from my professor since a week now, and I
Okay.
didn't start at all.
Right.
I'm not sure if that's again my procrastination or because it's such a big task and
Mhm.
I still can say no, but I think I want to do it.
Right.
But it's such a big task that it's hard for me to manage that out and put that in small steps of something.
Yeah, that's something that happens sometimes. It's you take on something that you did not envision
Mm.
yourself taking on, and this is something that you feel might be uh, an accomplishment or an achievement that you would add significant value on top of what you are doing really, but then this is something new that you haven't done before. So if you are in a habit of doing something like if you work on your papers here, if you work on your assignments, it's something that you kind of build in organically, or you have a habit built around your work flow. But when we have something that kind of comes onto you impromptu, or you have not
Mm.
planned through, then that sort of takes while it is important, it's on the back burner,
Mm.
so to say, and you have to be consciously aware that this task is something that you need to take very seriously and get started with, and
Mm.
that's something that happens. I feel this personally. I've taken on a few tasks that really weren't absolutely necessary,
Mm-hmm.
but then they kindled an interest in me, and I expressed that interest to my peers as well. But then the task sort of fell on the wayside, and I had to actually pick up on it again, and I had to make a conscious effort to work on it, and that's something that's very difficult to do. So in this case, the best practices, and this is, I guess, advocated by a lot of people, do the most difficult thing that you have on your plate right now first, and just get it over with. So right now, the objective is for you to work on research with regards to this paper, and the best suggestion, the best approach I would say is just get started. Have someone accountable, your professor maybe. Reach out to him or her, and make sure that you do some part, you split this paper in some part, maybe the first part being the research. The second part is documenting what you have researched, and then third part, getting feedback from someone who's an expert in that matter. And obviously, you can reach out to the Triad, either Othman or me, and we'd be glad to help you out.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. Would be
Yeah.
definitely a help. Why do you come up with these 3 steps? Like, is it something that worked for you when you did something like that?
It does. Breaking objectives into breaking some tasks into parts or subtasks, and making a checklist
Wait,
around these
I'm
subtasks.
confused. Who's coaching who?
He's coaching me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So breaking tasks into subtasks, and like approaching your whole task in parts is something that has helped me in the past, and I know from experience, and speaking to others as well, that it does help them as well. A task in itself, especially something that you have never done before, might seem intimidating at first, and that's the reason you may put it off for a later time. But then again, if you just compartmentalize each subtask and work on it in a timely manner, and make a checklist, and make sure that you do these tasks on time, and then you'll also achieve a sense of satisfaction. That's what we all face on a daily basis. It's not what we do that makes us think. It's actually what we do not do that makes us think. It's something that haunts all of us.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel that,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I've had that regret. Like, I feel I would definitely do not. The thing is with the paper, it can be that I do now a lot of this effort putting in there, and in the end, it's just not accepted. Like, I've been there once already.
Yeah.
So in my undergrad, my bachelor thesis was a study on customer experience that what my dean was very impressed by, and said, "Hey, this is such an interesting new concept and good sample size that he wanted to publish that."
Right.
So we turned that into an English white paper and tried to publish it, and it was only eligible for a poster publication and not a presentation, which is a little different. And so not worth for us to go at that time with San Diego from Germany over, and so it was a little bit of a failure, I would say. Like, we weren't published. But I saw how tough it is then. I saw how much effort it is to do that paper, and I saw that the risk is definitely there and realistic not to be published.
Okay.
So I'm kind of afraid to do all that again and risk to do it for nothing.
Okay. So let's talk about.
No, time's up.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe for another time.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's continue with this conversation for the
Yeah.
next session that we have. Okay, I guess next up it's Othman. Do you have some feedback?
Yeah, at first, thank you very much. What helps me is, making a checklist, doing the subtasks, and putting it in different things. That's what I got out of the conversation, to get feedback. That's valuable tips here and I definitely want to include that in my thinking of that task. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and you're very welcome.
All right.
This was really good for both of us.
Thank you.
Alright, so this is my feedback, right? The interview started off well, you know, at a nice pace. You start by saying, how are you? What's bothering you, right? Your response is very straightforward as well. We speak about time management, and he says, is that something that you're working on? Which the progression is still good, you know, because you're you're easing him into the conversation to actually find out, identify what it is that you're gonna coach him on. And then when he speaks about time management, you say, you understand that that's something that we all need. Is that something that you reflect on? He elaborates more on that. And then you say, you guess the issue of time management is something that we all face, and in your experience, from that moment on, you start to linger on the point. It's more of you talking,
Okay.
than focusing on identifying his response and identifying what it is that you're going to structure from, that conversation.
Right.
And then you ask him, well, what are you looking for in the near term? And then you explain what you mean by that. Does he have any objectives in mind or something like that? Then he speaks about, a deadline is coming up about the paper. It's a conceptual research. He's had it for over a week. He's not sure if the issue is procrastination or, and he understands how it's such a big task. I think this is where you lost me, right? Because then you start to explain it's something that happens sometimes. It could be something that you could regard as an achievement or something that he hasn't done, and I think you're attempting to summarize so you can pull out what you're going to pull out, right? But
Okay.
then I think then you begin to drone on, and at this point the interview completely almost becomes about you, because you're speaking about your experience, and you drone on for a long time, and then that's why I for a moment, that's why I'm asking who's the coach and who's you see what I'm saying? Because after you keep on speaking about your own experiences, then you proceed to tell him what to do, and that negates completely the whole model of the grow coaching. You're not supposed to offer a solution. Everything is supposed to come from him. You help him structure.
Yeah, I'm a facilitator
And
in that
you
sense.
see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I
So unless I'm missing something, but that's the whole essence of the grow model. You never ever prefer a solution or tell the person what to do. Everything has to come from him.
okay.
And then you pick something from what he said, and you help him identify the goal. So he identifies the goal.
Right.
He identifies how to measure that goal,
Okay.
but then you guide him in the structure and pull out from what he said, this is what you said and how to do it, right?
Right.
He figures out what are those metrics that will be used to measure that I've achieved this goal. He figures out, he gets to that point and says, this is what the obstacles are gonna be, and this is how I'm gonna overlook those obstacles. At no point do you, because then you go on, you tell him what the objective is, what the best approach is. You go down to break it down into parts of how he should do it, and breaking the tasks into subtasks. And so I think that's the only thing.
Right.
I think the roles kind of flipped and reversed,
Okay.
So, and I think if you read some of the course material, that's why a lot of companies have problems with internal coaching. That's why a lot of external managers come out, because your line manager is used to that top-down approach.
Right.
So they're not used to that grow model where everything is indirect and you become a very good listener, because you're
Right.
used to being a problem solver and solving the tasks, and then you give solutions. And that's kind of what happened here. You almost went into the role of the stereotypical manager, that top down.
Right.
Yeah, so I think other than that, yeah.
Oh, that's really insightful. That's I'll keep this in mind next time. I try to
It's
speak
your
from my experience. But I guess I sort of lost the point in between.
Mims?